All right, so we are live. So welcome everyone who's joining us for the replay. This is the opening session of the PPC Mastery Summit Q4 edition. So I'm super excited that all of you are here as we're going to be talking about how to maximize your Q4 holiday sales using paid advertising and strategies to make this the best possible year for you. So this particular session is brought to you by our sponsor, Gatita, and we'll be talking a little bit more about Gatita and how they can impact you and your bottom line here in just a moment. So just a quick thing, if you could, I'm going to do a couple housekeeping things here, but one thing I just want to say is, can you hear me? So if you can hear me, do me a favor, click that thumbs up icon, or you should be able to leave a comment and just say, hey, I can hear you. So that's always a good thing. And then also too, I just like to know, where are you from? So two questions. One, can you hear me? Is this thing on? And then two, where are you joining us from? So if you're joining us from sunny San Diego, which would be kind of early, or if you're somewhere else in the world, let us know, where are you joining us from? So we're going to get started here in just a second as I start doing some housekeeping things. So super excited that everyone is here. So yes, it looks like folks can hear us. So that is a very good thing. But please let me know, where are you joining us from? So we've got folks joining us from all over. I know we have a very international crowd for this particular event, and I'm super excited about that. So I want to know, where are you from? So good stuff happening. So if you're joining us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube are where we're streaming this too. So let us know. You can hear us. And if you're joining on LinkedIn, welcome, because this is only the second live stream I've done on LinkedIn. So super excited to just be approved for LinkedIn. So I'm going to share this to the group, and let's go ahead and get started. So, all right. So looks like Conceptual Medico says hi. So I'm assuming that means you can hear. Adrian says, hi, we can hear you from PH. Andy is joining us from Detroit, the Motor City. So welcome from the Motor City. And Andy, I know you work in the automotive world, if I remember correctly. You're maybe I'm wrong, but I believe that's the case. And then we've got Jamila from Atlanta. Thank you for joining us from Hot Atlanta there, Jamila. Conceptual Medico says, yes, can hear from Pakistan. Ivan, hear you loud and clear in the UK. So that is awesome. Joining us from Pakistan. And yeah, we can hear you from the Philippines. So that's good stuff. So I'm glad folks can hear us, because that is a big thing to make sure that folks can hear us. So lots of folks joining us here on YouTube, and let's go ahead and get into this. So, all right. So we're going to be talking in this session about how you can maximize your results this particular Q4. And so if you're joining us as part of the PPC Mastery Summit, we'll be getting into more of that here in just a moment. But I do want to bring to the stage a special guest who's going to be sharing with us some ways that you can maximize your results at the bottom line, because it's not just about the show and the sales that you see in everybody's screenshots that they post in the Facebook groups. Is really what comes to the bottom line. So to help you with the bottom line, I'm going to bring him up to the stage, the man who needs almost no introduction. We got Yoni Mazur from Gatita. So Yoni, thank you for joining us here on the opening session.
So exciting. Thank you so much, Kevin. Hi, everybody. So glad to be here. Yeah, Q4 is here. This is exciting because PPC is the name of the game. So this is crucial. This is crucial time. This is prime time. So glad to be here.
Yeah, exactly. So, one of the things that I notice is that when you get to the holiday season, sales go up, you got more inventory going into the warehouse. Amazon does a great job of getting stuff out there. When you really look at it, like how they're able to, within a couple of days of Christmas, get things delivered to folks, I think is absolutely amazing. But things do happen. Sometimes things get lost, broken, stolen, whatever in the warehouses. So are there any solutions to help folks with that? And what can you tell me about what it is you do that probably ties into that question?
Got it, yeah. So just to connect the dots here. So PPC is all about the magic that actually kind of creates a business, because the sellers, they source a product, they put it in the market, and they use PPC to advertise it, to market it, to brand it, and generate sales, which is great. But what happens is, behind the scenes, if you're an FBA seller, is that it's a whole network, right? That Amazon has and a whole infrastructure. And let's say you send your units to Amazon. Let's say you shipped 1,000 units. Amazon, instead of receiving 1,000 units, maybe they only received 990 units, so 10 units are missing. You have to reconcile it. You, the seller, need to reconcile it. Nobody's going to do that for you. And of course, if the units are deemed lost, Amazon will reimburse you, provide a financial recovery. That's kind of the easy stuff that most sellers are aware. But once your units are inside Amazon's fulfillment center, inside the center, things can get lost or damaged, destroyed, or disappear. Also between the warehouses, because Amazon might shift your products from, we have Craig from Detroit, Michigan, so they might be from Michigan, all the way to Florida because you're there, and all the way to New Jersey because I'm here. So they do that triangle. In between, the same things happen. Units get lost and damaged, destroyed. And then also between the fulfillment centers and the consumers, when the orders come in, consumers back to Amazon, unfondly known as refunds, returns. There's all these issues. And also, if you remove your inventory from Amazon to your warehouse, if you do an FBA removal, so things happen there. So, between all these logistical friction points, that's when things happen. And there's you have to audit for it, right? You have to actually make sure that you have a good handle on it. It can be quite of a headache because you can go back 18 months on the data. You have to dig through all the reports and all the transactions, to make sure that you know what you're doing, and then open a case with Amazon and get a recovery. And of course, if this is too much of a headache, you don't even know where to begin. There's solutions out there that help with this. It happens to be that Gitira, we're one of them. So if you ever need our help, we'll be happy to help. That's kind of in a nutshell what we are, the mission, the purpose, and what's behind the scene after the PPC gambit.
Yes. So just so you are helping folks find potential reimbursements that is within Amazon's terms of service, all within terms of service, and you find them basically ones they probably wouldn't have found on their own.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the thing is, the thing is that we encourage the seller. So if you never heard of this problem or issue, you're gonna make money right away. You need to go to your shipments and start reconciling every shipment you ever shipped to Amazon in the past. You have 9 months actually to do it. So everything beyond 9 months is already expired. Go and do it. If you find that they did not receive all the units, open a case. You're gonna get reimbursed. That's kind of the easy stuff. We encourage the sellers to do as much as they can on their own to get all the money that they're owed, and then we can come in and whatever they left behind, we can bring that back to their pocket. So it's money back from the dead, money they never expected to have. And that's how we find our value, because there's no subscription. It doesn't cost anything to join Getira. It's free. We only charge a fee from the recovery. We charge a 25% fee. So if this month we got you $100 back from the dead, you never had access to that $100 before, we'll charge you $25. But if next month we got you $0, you pay $0. So free to join, free to stay. It's we call it PPR, paper recovery only. So it makes it very, lucrative or beneficial for the sellers, because that money that comes back goes straight to the bottom line, right? Goes straight to your profit lines. And then you can hopefully take that money and reinvest in the business, or maybe invest more into your PPC. You want to, kind of unleash the campaigns and, all the budget for the campaigns. That's a great way to do it. All of a sudden, you're going to get a few $100s back, a few $1,000s back, or if you're a large volume seller, it could be tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands back. Use it to your arsenal of needs. You got the PPC, you got the sourcing, whatever it is that you need to fuel your business and grow, go for it. We encourage that.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things I'll note is that, I had at one point thought, when it's, when something gets reimbursed, Amazon will reimburse me, because I'll get these emails from Amazon, we reimbursed you, whatever. And then I started thinking about it, like, well, what is their incentive to dig deep? So they probably at surface level, and I don't think they're being dishonest, but just there's not that incentive for them to go in and look harder. So in full disclosure, not only is Gatita a sponsor of this event, but I'm also a client and have been for over a year now. And it's the one bill I actually enjoy it when it goes out.
Yeah, true. Some of our clients, they come and they see me in the shows. Lately, the shows are back on the ground. The trade shows. So I think this was in Prosper in Las Vegas. He sits down, because we usually kind of create a lounge for the in our booth. It's like, you one of these solutions that I don't really have to babysit. You don't have to, because you're not paying a subscription. You don't have to. I'm using it. I'm not using it. Who's in the team? Who's using it and not using it? It's like, if we get you money, we get paid. If we get you nothing, you owe nothing. And whenever you pay us, you're happy, because it means you got paid. So it's a great combination.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And some of the folks that I've sent to you guys have given me feedback that, maybe they were using a software tool in the past, and the software tool was, a higher level than just Amazon sending them, hey, here's the email, we reimbursed you a certain amount. The software tool will find some, but then I don't know what the secret sauce is, and you don't have to get into the secrets of it, but you guys are doing something, because everybody seems, the feedback is that you're able to find more things than I think even the software tools.
Yeah, it's a combination of things. It's interesting. I'll do a little bit of a breakdown here. So The tools are great, right? We encourage you to
Hmm.
use all the tools available and all the resources available to the sellers. But the way we see it is that all these tools, you have to kind of take the data and use it on your own. It's almost like having a toothbrush, but we're the
Hmm.
dentist, right? So as a
Mm.
dentist, we encourage you to brush your teeth, do it, no problem.
Hmm.
But as a dentist, we have a lot of tools that we can use, and we go deep. We can do a root canal, we can do filling, we can do implants, whatever it is. So it basically is the tools that we have, but also the skill, the knowledge of a dentist, right? And a dentist
Hmm.
really have to know their stuff, the know how to figure out the issue and fix it. So with this analogy, we can use on our world, because what happens is we're right now, as it stands, we're the largest organization in the world dedicated just for this task,
Mm.
FBA auditing and reimbursements. And we audit billions of dollars worth of transactions every single day, right? So we have
Oh,
access to a
wow.
lot of data that typical sellers don't have. So, and also what happens over time is that we find new types of issues or variations of
Mm.
issues with a few users that we have, and then we take that and basically check around for everybody. So you're part of a community. So you have a built-in R&D. So whenever kind of new things or new opportunities arise, you enjoy that. So that helps us increase the recovery rate. Plus, we have a big part of our team are former Amazon employees who used to work in those departments, the FBA reimbursements department. So we know what we're looking for, how to present the issues, how to manage the cases, and all the back and forth. And we look at ourselves as auditors. What does that mean? We actually focus on the mathematics. For example, if we find -1, we do a calculation -1. We open a case with Amazon, and Amazon might kind of reply, whoever's there on the other side might kind of reject the case. Maybe they're not understanding what's going on. Maybe they're hurrying because they want to go grab lunch. So they maybe try to deflect, which is okay. But what happens with us is once we see that, we identify that, we're going to reopen the case and explain maybe the situation in a different angle. And say, oh, we apologize. Here's your reimbursement, and you move on. So basically, we take a rejected case and convert it to a paid case because we
Mm.
focus on the mathematics. Because a typical seller, if they open a case with Amazon, they say no, no means no, right? And you move on. For us, it's not really the case. We're actual auditors, mathematicians, if you like. So we want to really work with Amazon together to get to the bottom of the issue. And if there's an opportunity for recovery, they'll probably provide it. So all these ingredients put together kind of help us get the maximum that's available for the sellers. And only for successful we get paid, which makes it a really valuable kind of thing for the sellers to have in their pocket.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the nice things too, is that if you're looking to offload some tasks, this is one that pays for itself. And also, you know, if 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 you get more money back, then your bill is a little bit higher, but it's because you got more money back. So you have the other 75% in your pocket that you probably wouldn't have found otherwise. And like you said, you could try to do some of this on your own first so that way you're not paying for ones that you don't have or that you could have gotten on your own. And so now you got somebody who's finding the ones you wouldn't have found. So all right. So if somebody wanted to sign up, what does that process look like?
They just visit getira.com, and there's a free sign up button right there because it's free to join. But
Mm-hmm.
I think we prepared a special offer for you guys, right?
Yes, you can get
So
$400 reimbursed for free. Um, so that's super nice. So it's basically $400 in someone's pocket. Am I understanding that
yeah, it's
correctly?
a guarantee. So we're gonna get you $400 on FBA reimbursements, no matter
Hmm.
what. It might take us a day, it might take us a few months, but that's a guarantee. You're gonna have $400 extra in your pocket you never had before. After we get you the $400, if you want to leave us, that's fine. If you want to stay, that's fine as well. We're just here to help. Yeah, so that's kind of valuable. You can test us out, try it out, and enjoy the benefits and the money. I think we maybe prepared a special page for you guys. Let me just check it real quick with my computer, if you don't mind. I think we have create a nice page for you guys. So give me a
I
second.
believe so. I believe this forwards to that nice page, which I believe is also gatita.com/max ecom is I believe where that forwards.
There we go. Okay, so yeah, so if you go to maximize e-commerce /Gatira, it goes there. That's cool. You
Yep.
guys redirected it.
Yep.
That's awesome. All right, so
It's
you
all
did your
about the
thing.
redirection.
All right,
Pretty
great.
links.
Good job. All right,
All
smooth.
right. Well, good. So yes. So folks, if that doesn't excite you, $400 for free. So for those of you who, whether you invested in the VIP upgrade or you've got the $7 ticket in the summit, that's $400 right back there in your pocket. Like Yoni said, they guarantee it may not necessarily be overnight, especially if you're just getting started. But as you grow, that $400 will grow with you, and that's free money coming back to you that they're going to find for you. So, and they guarantee it. So that's super exciting. So thank you, Yoni, for that very generous offer. And also thank you for being a sponsor. And again, folks, maximizingecommerce.com /Gatita for that offer. So, All right, so we're going to get into some other stuff related to this summit and maximizing the effect of being in this summit. So, Yoni, did you want to stick around a little bit, or
I'm sure a little bit because I love this stuff. It's just this is so
okay?
valuable for sellers. I even though I don't sell on Amazon anymore, I just absorb it. It just is
Yeah.
great. So, but I'll fade away. I'll fade away. I'll give you a notice when I fade away. No
Well,
worries.
let's do this. Let's do this. So I see you on social media. For those who don't follow you, living a jet set lifestyle. So you are going lately from conference to conference to conference to conference. So you probably hear people talk about things. Now, the nice thing about when you're in an in-person conference, you get the chance to have conversations with everyone there. When it's virtual, it's a little more disjointed. So, folks, I highly recommend, if you've not already, go in the Maximizing E-commerce Facebook group, pose a question to the group, start a conversation, comment on other people's questions and conversations and things like that. So that way you can still be part of a group even though it's virtual. So, but you've gotten the chance to you've gotten the chance to talk to a lot of people at in-person events or even virtually and things like this. What are some pieces of advice you would have for someone to maximize their time in a learning environment like this?
I think the answer was in the question. It's
Okay.
everybody's understanding that it's a learning game. It's
Mm-hmm.
constantly learning. What you know today is great, but gotta prepare for tomorrow. So, in this attitude is great for success. If you just think that you have it, you know the best. It's not so. You got to invest in yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
so the people who come to the conferences, they took their time, their money, their best resources to come and attend. And I think if I zoom out and look from the outside, it basically means that the industry is maturing and is
Mm-hmm.
becoming more professional. So people are being,
Mm.
professional. They even though they're the entrepreneurs and they own it, they want to professionalize and actually, building this, managing it, whatever that they're doing. It can be in the PPC side, it could be logistics. Obviously, this year is huge on logistic issues, right? Sourcing overseas is a big pain point. So how do you deal with that? How do you manage that? A lot of community approach. Once people kind of figure out ways to alleviate the pain, they share with each other. Because why not? It doesn't, there's no competition on getting your product in, logistically, unless you're really selling the same one-on-one, but which is very rare for sellers to be in a Facebook group and share resources. Oh, we're
Mm-hmm.
competing on the same exact product. It doesn't really happen because there's probably hundreds of millions of products, if not billions, on Amazon. So it's 1 in 100+ million chance that person interacting with you online or in the conferences is selling the same thing. So and the sellers are understanding that there's a community approach. Like a decade ago, it wasn't. People, Amazon was almost like a secret. It was hush hush. I'm doing
Right.
so well, so much, just doing so much business. Nobody kind of knows about it, and you don't want anybody to know. But today, it just exploded. There's room for everybody, obviously, and it's still growing. And learning curve, community approach, invest in yourself. These are kind of the elements and ingredients for success. So, like I said, the question had already the answer built in. So hopefully that's useful.
Yeah, I love that. And so it's exactly what you said. It's about learning and then taking what you learn and implement it, but also knowing that you're part of a community. And so, when I worked at, Walt Disney World at a theme park, everyone I was surrounded by all day long, was in the same world. When I worked in a hotel, everyone was in the hotel. When I worked in insurance, everyone else around me was in insurance. When you're in an Amazon seller, chances are there's no one that within 20 miles of you that does this for a lot of people. Now, some people that's not true because they've
Depends if you're
gotten
in
to,
Brooklyn, yeah. If you're in
oh,
Brooklyn,
if
there's an
you're in
area, there's a zip code.
Brooklyn
If you throw a
or
stone,
Miami,
yeah. There's like essential hubs. Utah is big on that, but
right.
across the country, yeah, you can be a little bit of an alien. You feel like I'm out of this world. I don't even know anybody that understand what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Or even if you're in Brooklyn or Miami or one of these hubs, uh, if you don't already know people and you're not connected to the community, then it can be hard sometimes. So sometimes you got to kind of get that foot in. But once you get your foot in, I tend to find Amazon sellers really are very giving. And, the hard part is, like you mentioned before about like Facebook groups and stuff like that. That's great. But the challenge with Facebook groups, and saying this as someone who just said, hey, go to the Facebook group. But the challenge sometimes with Facebook groups is that you don't know who these people are. So one thing I would take advantage of for folks is the fact that if you're in this and you're on this live stream and you see the people, the names of who's commented and things like that, they're at least investing their time and they're not
Just as you, right? So
right, exactly.
similar
They're
mindset, like
similar mindset,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So like-minded. So find ways to connect with like-minded sellers. So that sometimes is the secret sauce. And it's amazing that when you find like a little bit of way to say, hey, we were both at this event. the connection that you get out of that. And so one example I give, and this is kind of a random example. So on my podcast, I had on Justin Guarini, who, if anyone is an American Idol fan, he was the runner up in the first season. He was runner up to Kelly Clarkson. He and I happened to be on a Zoom call. And I just remember, you see all the faces and all the squares. And I was like, that guy looks familiar. And I look at the name, Justin Guarini. I'm like, that's the dude from American Idol. So I just reached out to him. I was like, hey, we were both on this call. Would you be interested in coming on my podcast? And he's like, sure. Now, if I just cold emailed him, he might not have been as receptive, but we had something in common. So for those of you who are in this event, you have something in common with everyone else. So between all the platforms, we have 27 people watching live right now. So all those 27 people, and then the hundreds who will watch the replay. So you have something in common with everyone else who's part of what you're with. So hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, and I see over the years, a lot of the greatest players that I know right now, they mentioned that throughout the years they actually started collaborating or even partnering. They found their partners, their business partners, or solution providers, which they can call also strategic partners, and to grow in their business to success. So there's also that benefit or element where you might find, you might have troubles on the financial side or whatever, and somebody is doing well financially, but they have more problem on the PPC side. You have all these interesting connections when you get these power players. They come up and they just, they grow together, and they 1 + 1 = 3 kind of element.
Yeah, because we're kind of drowning in information. And again, I know there's a little bit of a contradiction of a guy who's got, 8 speakers talking about PPC, but we're all going to be at different levels, and we don't necessarily know which one of those topics is going to be most relevant to us. And sometimes it's all about finding other people to connect with and bounce the ideas off. I'm thinking about doing this. I'm thinking about doing this. Because to your point, you might be able to offer something because maybe you understand the bolts of, debits and credits and the numbers better than someone else who maybe they're better at figuring out PPC strategies, and the two of you can help each other. Or maybe two people are just really good at PPC and they can bounce off ideas, and it's still a 1 + 1 = 3 or 4, sometimes.
Yeah, you just even boom, a beautiful explosions happen in a good way, from all these interactions on the digital side and the physical side. So that is something that you don't have to aim for it. It can might happen organically or naturally, but it can also be an upside. But for sure, if you learn what's going on, what's the latest and greatest things to do in your business, you can't fail. Really, it's harder to fail.
Right.
Let's put it this way.
Exactly. So continue to connect with other people, find those people to be your tribe or your group, your clique, your circle, your club, whatever that case is. Start looking for some of those people. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time. That's not a get rich quick thing. This is not a get rich quick business. But if you find the people who have that long-term mindset of growth, you're going to do well. So, we were just chatting beforehand about how Gatita's grown a lot over the last year, which is awesome to see. And a lot of that comes from that long-term mindset that Yoni and his team have had. And, for those folks that are sellers, having that long-term mindset. So any advice here on, keeping that long-term mindset for growth?
Yeah. So don't exhaust yourself, right? Because, you might feel like you're sprinting and you're out of air. Yeah, so if you feel in that position or that way, step back a little bit. What are you doing? Where are you overheating or anything like that? Yeah, so don't overheat. It's hard for me to explain it. It's just I call it a little bit every day. Every day, just a little bit more, and realize that you're trying to build something for the next 30 years. Worst case, in a year or two from now, you're gonna make so much money you want to retire. That's fine. Or somebody comes and buys you out. That's fine. But try to create yourself a machine or an organization that will you'll be happy and comfortable with in the next 30 years, especially if you're in the entrepreneurs. This is going to be an organization in your spirit, in your shadow, in your your mindset. So take your time, do it, and just try to enjoy the ride. It's like you said, it's not a get rich quick scheme kind of business. It's like construction. Every brick, every day a little bit more bricks and mortar, brick and mortar. All of a sudden you have this great facility, and then it just becomes more vibrant and it gives you more and it produces income. So yeah, just take it slow. And I also have a phrase I used to use it much more on the retail side. Now that I don't do retail anymore, but I do more on the software side. On the retail side, I used to say kind of because things move so fast and quickly. So I used to tell the entire team like, whatever it is that you're doing, just do it well. Try to do it well, really calibrate on it. And I think also Napoleon said something very smart when he was he had the lady or the team that dressed him up for war. He used to tell them, dress me up slowly because I'm in a rush. Right. So do things slowly, do it the right way, because if you do it, you're going to do it probably the right way. and you
Hmm.
can prevent mistakes, which might, then delay you, and it will take you longer to get into battle, or be even in the battle. So kind of do things the right way. Surface level, realize that you're not only doing surface level, maybe you're going underneath and doing things more wholesomely. It's hard to it's very abstract. But on the PPC side, if you set up the campaigns in certain ways, really kind of what the textbook says, try to do it. Obviously, calibrate your way and your angles, but don't just don't be cheap or something like that. Don't sell yourself short. Just do it, or your team, whoever's there,
Hmm.
just do it with more wholesome, more give with the heart. I guess maybe another thing to connect
That's
is
a good one. Yeah.
yeah, do it with
Put your
heart, do
heart
it with
into it.
love. Try to put some
Yep.
love into it, not just cold, touch and go kind of aspects.
Exactly. That's awesome. So great advice there. So Yoni, you've delivered some great advice. And again, folks who want to get $400 for free, meaning Gatita will go into your Amazon account and find reimbursements that you probably wouldn't have found on your own. In almost every case of people I've compared with, you can just go to maximizingecommerce.com/Gatita. Special offer. Well, they will reimburse or they will find $400 of reimbursements from Amazon that Amazon will pay you. And so, maybe you'll get that right away. Maybe it might take a little bit of time to trickle in depending on your numbers and what's in there. But that is an offer that, once they get to that $400, you will not have to have paid for the $400. So definitely go check that out. So again, kudos to Yoni and his team for offering that. So $400 could buy some gifts around the holidays. So coming up here soon. So that's a great opportunity. So thank you so much, Yoni. All right. So a couple other things real quick. I wanted to, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in. One thing I would like to see from people here is out of curiosity, give me an emoji, and there might be rewards for participation. We'll see. Give me an emoji of what is your feeling about your PPC campaigns going into Q4? So now that we're in Q4, give me an emoji to describe PPC campaigns for the holiday season. Are you excited? Are you nervous? Are you scared? Are you crying? Are you laughing? Like, I've seen some very creative emojis. It could be the bread emoji. I don't know. Whatever you think. So give give me an emoji if you could. So a couple other folks I wanted to give a shout out to. Um, Mary Grace said she's joining us from the Philippines. We've got Mohammed joining us from Turkey. Hope you're doing well, Mohammed. I believe you're the same Mohammed that we had a consulting meeting with, and so hopefully we solved your issue. Um, Abdullah Mohammed said, "Great to see you. Great to see you as well. Hopes that this session will be great. I think it's been great so far. I think Yoni has delivered the goods and a lot of great advice here." And Andy says, how do I access the live at 2 p.m.? So great question. If you have the VIP upgrade, you can join us for a live session. Travis Ziegler and Ritu Java will be there to answer your questions. And Andy, who's been at, I think, every one of those VIP sessions I've done at the last two summits, can attest to the fact that these are really beneficial. So these are experts that, maybe you watch some of their content and things like that. But here you get to actually say, here's my situation. Here's what's unique about it. What do you think I should do? What should I do? This versus that. And they can give you unique situation, and you get to see their body language. They get to see your body language. So this is part of a VIP upgrade, as well as some other goodies as well. So you can always go to maximizingecommerce.com/VIP if you've not yet upgraded to VIP. So Marco looks like a studious emoji. Is that the glasses emoji?
And also
So I
maybe
guess learning in mode.
a minion, maybe. So
Yeah,
say
something
minion.
like that. So Marco, kudos to you for being the first person to give the emoji. So shoot me an email. Let me know if you'd rather get a VIP upgrade to be able to have ongoing access to this summit, or if you'd prefer to have the Expand to Canada Fast Track workshop, which will guide you through how to get registered and get up and running. So you get your choice of either of those. And so just let me know. And if you have both, we'll figure something else out for you. So, Adrian, a little bit of kind of like maybe a little apprehensive, a little nervous. That's okay. I think most people are, especially if this, I don't know, Adrian, is this your first Q4 season. I know it was a little nerve wracking for me, and this is going to be my seventh holiday season, and I still get a little nervous going into it. Thanksgiving dinner, like the whole time I'm kind of thinking about like, okay, Black Friday's tomorrow. So it can be
Kevin, let me ask you this: in 7 years,
yeah.
had you ever had a season or where it was just a copy paste was all the same, or every year it had its own nuance and variation of things or little angles?
I think the first couple of years were a little bit more copy paste, but it's grown to over time. It's getting to be more like this year. We've got the instead of last year, it was all about the per unit restricted inventory levels. Now we have these account wide restock limits, and I
Yep,
think
yep.
that's a big hot button for a lot of folks, and I understand that, and it is for me as well. I've noticed steadily mine have been rising, and I don't know if it's because Amazon sees the history of my account and my oftentimes dramatic increase in sales around the holidays. So I'd be curious for other people to know, are you seeing your restock quantities start to increase? And I also started to notice on the per unit last year that there was a little bit of a challenge of, as the holiday season started, my restock limits for each SKU, because last year was based on per SKU, those started to go down. So sometimes it was trying to balance it. So
Mm-hmm.
that was kind of an interesting one. So every year there's something a little bit interesting,
But what
especially
about
the
the
last few
cost?
years.
Let's talk about the cost
What's that?
over the year. The cost. What about the cost on PPC side over the years? What did you see about that?
I've noticed it to be, I have very giftable products, so I tend to get really high conversion rates. And so I think Amazon, one, probably rewards my products with more impressions. They tend to be ranked even for the same keywords higher. So
Mm-hmm.
my costs tend to go down. I'm curious for other people, are your costs going up or down around the
During the
holidays?
season, it goes down. Wow.
Well, I'm saying my A costs, I should say. So average,
No, that
when
yeah,
you,
it cost should go down if because there's so much of volume and efficiency in the market because there's intent built in. But
Mhm.
I'm saying on the bidding side of things, on the keywords at least, I don't know if you're doing the same keywords for all these years, but if the keyword used to be, if you want to bid on it, it used to be on 21 cents, is it now 55 cents or over the years, or what's the inflation on the
Oh yeah, it
actual?
has gone up a little bit. So it's, gone up a little bit, not as dramatically as I think in some others. I tend to have gone wide with a lot of, uh, let's say, more long tail type products.
Mhm.
Whereas I think the people going after hero products, because everyone else is trying to go after those products in, like, the top 5,000 BSR, whatever the case is. So I know those ones definitely have. So I believe there's still a lot of green pasture if you just go down and you try to figure out a way to take the same widget and make different variations or different versions of it. And if the same product that has different versions and you have 10 of them selling 3 a day versus one product selling 30 a day, is probably going to have a bigger increase in the 30 a day product and their PPC costs versus the ones that are spread out.
Interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not too familiar with this approach. It's almost like trailblazing in a way.
Yeah.
On the PPC side, that's very cool.
So there's interesting ways to splice it. But you know what? I think even if you have that hero product and you're trying to keep your hero product status, there's lots of great content. I would recommend checking out all 8 sessions that we have from our speakers, because you'll probably find something that you hadn't thought of, or something that you could implement right away. So that's a great question. So conceptual medico, a heart and fire. So he's got the heart inside and the burning fire and passion.
Nice
Um,
combination. Yeah.
Yes, it's a great combination. Muhammad's got starry eyes. I think that's a good thing to have there, Muhammad. And says, yes, it's me. And thank you, Kevin. Thanks for the support. Yeah, absolutely. And then we've got a name I can't pronounce.
It's Alexei Tkach.
Oh, okay. Dude, you just bailed me out. So
Yeah,
Alexei Koch, welcome.
yeah. I know how to read Russian
Joining
in
us
my
from the
over the years. I
Ukraine.
picked it up. Yeah.
Marco Cortazzo says, thanks a lot. Absolutely. So thank you for dropping in your emoji.
He's looking up. Andy.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
great.
Andy's looking up like, oh, what's going on here?
Maybe he's looking
Uh,
forward. Yeah.
and then Adrian says, yeah, first Q4. And, it's it can be nerve wracking, but here's the thing, learn from people that have been there before. You don't have to figure it out all on your own. I mean, everyone here, I'm assuming you're here because you've purchased your ticket to the PPC Mastery Summit. If you have not yet, I'm going to give a quick shameless plug to go to ppcmasterysummit.com. Depending on when you're watching this, you might go there and I no longer making sales. So, because, at the end of the day, this is a 1-day summit, even though you're going to have access through midnight tomorrow. So it's really almost 2 days that you have access there. But I don't want to keep selling tickets forever. So this afternoon at some point, I'm going to cut it off. So make sure you grab those tickets. And if you're watching this in the future, hit us up on our next summit. But for those of you who do have your tickets, invest the time to watch as many of the sessions as you possibly can. So I'm going to now give you a tour behind the scenes. So Yoni, you're welcome to stick around for the tour of the behind the scenes if you want, or you can take off, whatever makes sense. I know you're a busy man running a busy organization, doing lots of great content to help the seller community and supporting, and you probably have a flight here soon to another event. What is the next event you're going to?
I'm coming to Florida, man. I'm coming to
Oh,
Florida.
for
Coming to
powwow?
Miami. I'm gonna be powwow, but also for that, I'm gonna be in Sellers Dinner, and then a week after that, there's FBA Live in Orlando area. I think that's
Oh
where you are,
yeah.
right? That's Titan
I'm
Network.
speaking at the powwow, so I haven't really talked about it much because I've been focusing more on this. But I'll just say this: anyone in the Miami area, if you're watching this, I'm going to give away a few tickets. So I've got a few tickets that I can give away to that powwow. They've got some amazing speakers at that. Stephen Pope, who's one of our speakers, is also going to be there. Amy Weiss, who's a former speaker, will be there. Ritu is going to be there.
Yep.
She'll be there, which you can meet in person. So if that sounds of interest to you, and either you want to go to Miami or you want to, or you live in the area. I'm kind of local, about an hour and a half away. But if you want to go to that, that's November 2nd. I thought I did answer the question about VIP. I'll send out a email later today if I've not already. So just like I've done before. All right. But if you want to go to that powwow, let me know. Just whoever's the first person, email me, comment, whatever. But don't say, oh, yeah, I want it and not go. So if you think you can actually go on Tuesday, November 2nd, it's like 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. or whatever. You get a general admission ticket. I can get it to you absolutely for free. You can check out my session. You can check out Norm Farrar, Tim Jordan,
Emma.
Emma Shermer Tamir, also one of our former speakers. Brandon
Go
Young.
on and
Who
on.
else am
There's
I
a lot.
missing?
It's a whole world. It's a whole.
Oh,
I
there's a
think
lot.
also it's an adventure island. It's a cool place. So
yes,
it's gonna be
yes. It's right over there by the cruise port.
Yeah.
So maybe you can take a cruise after that.
After that, yeah, go to Bahamas before the craziness
exactly.
of Q4 really kicks in. Yeah.
Exactly. So that'll be November 2nd on Tuesday. So if that sounds of interest to you, whoever's the first person to either email me or whatever the case is, we will get you hooked up. But all right. So
okay, Kevin, I'm still in Florida. Good luck, everybody. Enjoy the summit. Thank you so much for doing this, Kevin. A lot of effort, a lot of love, a lot of work. So we salute you. That's it. I'm gonna sign off.
Awesome. Well, it's a pleasure having you, and we're going to now go into some behind the scenes stuff. But it was great having you. So thank you so much, Yoni.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thanks. All right. So now let's go a little bit more behind the scenes to show you kind of some of you might be familiar with how the tech stuff works, but I want to make sure that you know how to access everything. So you should have, if you have a ticket, you should have already received an email with your login credentials. That email notoriously will go into spam because oftentimes there's just issues. And so a couple things I would recommend. If you are having issues, then what I would suggest you do is, looks like we do have someone that has trouble logging into the portal. So check the email you have. Sometimes people will log in and they will have a saved password, even though maybe they've never gone into anything from me. They will have a saved password because the login screen is on a Kartra.com domain. So you may not even realize, but you might have gone to something else with Kartra before. So first suggestion troubleshooting is take the username and password. If there's anything automatically populates, delete that first. Copy and paste that from the email. This maybe is a Windows thing, but sometimes when you highlight the password and you copy it and you paste it, there's sometimes an extra space. So make sure it's not highlighting an extra space after the password, because that space will throw off the system and it'll think that's another character, and it doesn't match up. So don't make sure there's no extra spaces on the end. If you're still having issues, another thing to do is try going to the whatchamacallit. Try going to incognito. Sometimes this works for folks. You just, if you're in Edge or um, uh, Chrome, somewhere in the upper right hand corner, there's usually like, the three little dots or the hamburger menu, whatever they call it. You click that, and there's usually, in private browsing, incognito. And basically what that means is the cookies and shared things aren't there. So your cache files and all that's not there. So you're kind of starting out from a fresh blank canvas to copy and paste your username and password. If that still doesn't work, check to make sure if you had put like forgot password, you could try saying forgot password and have the system resend it to you. If you're still having issues, one thing you could do is you could, after you've done the forgot password, email me and I could resend it to you in case maybe there's a password issue. And then if you're still having issues, take whatever the most recent email is with the login and password and send it to me. We'll figure something out. Or send me a screenshot of what you're saying so we can help figure it out. But we can get everybody in who needs to be in. So, but once you're in, let me go ahead and share my screen. Once you're into the portal, you're going to see something that looks like this. Now, you're not going to see everything I see there. So whatever you have access to, now I'm an admin, so I have access to everything, but you're going to be looking for this one right here, the PPC Mastery Summit Q4 edition. So you're going to go into there. And what you're going to do from there is it's going to look like this. So you're going to log in. This is where you're going to find the content. So let's give a quick little rundown of where everything is. So if you've not joined the Facebook group or subscribed on YouTube, I highly recommend you do that. Also, you can check out our sponsors here. If you've not upgraded to VIP, you can click that to upgrade to VIP. And you can watch the live sessions here. And then we do have some speaker sessions going on, and that's available today. Originally, we said it was today only, October 12th. Then I said at least 24 hours of access. And so now we're going to give you actually an additional access. And that will be through midnight Eastern time tomorrow. So that's almost 2 full days. So hopefully that helps you relieve some of the stress. And again, if you want the ongoing access, you can upgrade to VIP. We do have some special bonuses, including a $50 credit to PickFu, one of our sponsors, as well as you also would get, if you do this before 2 p.m. Eastern time today, you'd have access to that special VIP only Q&A session. You get the lifetime access to the recordings, and I will have a special offer that I will be making exclusively to VIPs later on this week. So either VIPs of this event, or if you were VIP at a previous event, I will reach out to you with this special offer here in the next day or two to let you know about that. But that is if you've not ever been a VIP in this summit or my previous 2 summits in either July or May, then you would not be eligible for that particular special offer. So if that sounds of interest to you, you can upgrade to VIP. If not, no worries. I really just want everyone to have a good experience and to learn a lot. So let's talk about a couple things here. So you want to check out the replays, you can come here. So we'll have the opening session. This is the opening session. That replay will be here later on today, which you can see here on the schedule. We have a closing session with Quiet Light. That will be here. All of the live sessions will be available for replay, except for the VIP Q&A session. The reason I do that is I just want everyone to be able to ask questions. Sometimes in an environment like this where people don't know each other, that there's sometimes a little bit of apprehension to ask questions. So I want people to feel comfortable doing so. So that is available only live. So if you're a VIP, I highly suggest Everyone has attended, even if they don't even ask questions. They say it's really beneficial just to attend and watch. But if you have questions, I highly recommend you come and you can ask Travis and Ritu. Even if you haven't watched their sessions, I would highly recommend that you come and check it out. If you are a VIP, which I will email VIPs probably about 20 minutes beforehand with, hey, here's the link. But everything else will be available in the replay, and the replays will be right here. And then for the speaker sessions, which again, this is turned on for everyone that has a ticket. So this is all turned on. I said 10 o'clock. It was about 9:30 that I turned them on. So a little bit before then. So I'd like to give just a little bit more than what I originally promised. So again, you'll have that from this morning until midnight, not tonight, tomorrow. So we have all through tonight, and then all through, the complete 24 hours for tomorrow. So 24 hours tomorrow, plus what does that math work out to? Like 14 hours today. So that's almost 2 full days that you have access to all of these. If you don't have your VIP pass, if you do have the VIP pass, you can come back and watch it whenever. So, that is basically where everything's located. Now, what I would suggest is a couple things. If you want to watch, let's say Travis's session, you click this right here, and he's got a couple bonuses that he's suggesting, and you can access these here. I would highly recommend, if you can, leave a comment. These speakers are doing this, free. They're giving of their time because they just want to give back. And they know full well most people that watch this aren't going to become clients or customers of theirs. They just like to give back and help. And so I think one of the things that's nice is just a little bit of friendly words. These are human beings. They do respond to positive communication. So if you can leave a comment down below saying, hey, I really appreciate this, or I really liked your point about XYZ, or I hadn't thought about this that way, so really thank you for bringing that to the forefront. Whatever makes sense to you that is relevant to what you just watched in the content, to let them know someone was there watching what they had to say. So feel free to reach out to them and sign up for their goodies, whatever they're giving away. Most of them are giving away something, whether just following them on social, or Travis, for example, does have some bonuses that you can check out for free. So, check out their bonuses, follow them on social media, whatever the case is, because I only bring in speakers that I know are going to be doing good things here. So let me bring my cursor back to the screen. So, all right. So let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to drop them in the comments. So we can answer your questions. But again, today is the beginning of the PPC Mastery Summit Q4 edition. This is a 1-day summit, but by 1 day, it's really almost 2 full days. So you'll have access to the sessions. A lot of times people, they'll add them at 9 o'clock in the morning. They'll take them away at midnight. I don't do that. I just say, you have them, and you're going to have them for longer than I originally promised. And so that's going to be until midnight tomorrow night that you'll be able to access those sessions. And what else was I going to say? So this is Tuesday, October 12th. You should be able to access this. If you have any issues with logins, double check to make sure you got the right password. If you have anything that's auto-populating, delete that first. Try incognito window. If you're still having issues, you can always reach out to me. Jamila, who was just saying that she was having challenges, said that she was able to get in mobile, but not on PC. I've never heard that one before. Try another device, maybe. But there's probably something with the cookies on the PC that's not on the other one. So that's my thought. And then Adrian said, hey, awesome to be here. Adrian, thank you for being here. We're excited to have you. Definitely going to the Bahamas sometimes too. So we were probably in reference to when Yoni and I were talking about an in-person event that I'm speaking at. I'm not hosting that one, but I'm speaking at the Amazon Powwow November 2nd in Miami. So if you're in the Miami area, if you're in Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, I'm even a little bit north of that in Martin County, which I'd be shocked if people could find that on the map. But if you're in any of those areas, feel free to hit me up. The first person to hit me up and ask for it either by email, or you could even be in the comments, but please don't ask for it unless you think you're going to use it. But I do have a free ticket I can give away to that. So let me know. And then let me know too, what are you what are you hoping to get out of the summit? So we're going to wrap this up here in just a moment, but we will have a session for VIPs today at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And then this evening, I almost said tonight. I guess it would be tonight, depending on how you look at it or your time zone, or maybe it's the morning for you. I don't know. But at 5 p.m. Eastern time tonight, we will have a closing session brought to you by Quiet Light Brokerage, one of our sponsors. And we'll be talking. I'm calling it the closing session because officially this is a one-day summit, but we're going to be talking about some things to help you as you're moving along. We will have an expert on the buy sell process. Actually, a published author, Walker Dybel, will be joining us at that session. He is the author of Buy Then Scale, I believe is the name of his book. Walker, if you're joining us, I will double check the name before we go to the next one. But great book. And Walker's a great guy, really good guy. So, all right. So hopefully this was helpful. Another thing I'm just going to keep harping on, I don't know, harping is the right word. I'm gonna keep reminding, maybe that's the better word to use. I'm gonna keep reminding two things. One, you are not alone in this. Right now, there's 28 people on the live stream between everywhere that we're at, between YouTube, Facebook, wherever else. And hundreds of people are going to watch this after the fact. So even if you're watching the replay, you're still part of people that have a shared experience. So try to connect with other people that are having a shared experience. And this is a shared experience. So you're part of the summit. Because the community that you can develop, a lot of times everything is one way. We're consuming, podcasts, YouTube videos, reading blog posts, and, all this, or even, watching this content in this summit. Find other people that you can bounce ideas with, and that's a huge thing. So if you can do that, you're going to really accelerate your growth. And I have found that to be the case with my business. And just sometimes sharing this is my idea with someone makes you more likely to even follow through on it, as opposed to if you've ever felt like you're drowning in content and you have this long to-do list and you have no idea what makes the most sense, and everything is geared based on the latest guru who is really excited about the latest hack to do whatever. You got to find people that can help you sort some of that out and talk through it. And sometimes just when you talk through it, you figure it out on your own, but knowing that someone else is there listening is beneficial. And then the other thing I would recommend too is figure out what are those things after you've watched the summit content, what are the things that are going to help move the ball forward the most? And so my highly suggestion to you is figure out, like, okay, write down what are the activities that you're going to get a lot out of. So, okay, if I do this, I can realistically do this between now and the holiday season, get this set up, whatever the case is. Then these are the things I think I would get the most impact from. So realistically you can do, and that you can get the most impact from, what is going to be the most impactful that you can get done between now and the holidays. And I would focus on that first, and I would start getting some momentum. Like, no later than this weekend, start working on that. Ideally, right after you, have watched the sessions and you've identified that one thing, I would start working on that one thing, because anything you can do to get momentum is going to build on itself, and you're going to feel better about it. And if you feel better about it, that flywheel effect, so to speak, which we talk a lot of times about, with algorithms and things like that, but there's a flywheel effect in your brain of when you start taking action and you feel better about it, and you start seeing the momentum. And sometimes it doesn't have to be big things. It could be, you were trying to get a certain type of campaign, and you ran one campaign that was display campaign, or you went to brand analytics and pulled the reports. You start doing one thing that's going to move you forward, one step towards that, bigger goal that you're looking to hit before the holiday season, to set something up or try a new strategy or whatever the case is. So that's my closing advice to you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And I look forward to seeing you hopefully at 5:00 p.m. Eastern time. For those of you who are VIPs, at 2:00 p.m. Eastern time. And if you want to join us, like I said, we've got lots of other great goodies as well for VIP. So if you have not yet upgraded to VIP, you can always go to maximizingecommerce.com/VIP. I look forward to seeing you there.